Yes, thank you, Jesus. Grace and releases miracles. Grace, grace, grace. That's what we all long for, right? A grace. Grace for our lives and for every situation, for everything that we go through and who we are and the good days, the bad days, all of it. Good evening, New Season Gospel FM. Good evening. Hope everyone is having an amazing day, a productive day, a peaceful day. I know it's been a good day for me. Any day that I get to do what I love, as I always say, is a good day. It's an awesome day. And then to be here with you guys, it's awesome as well. So thank you so much for joining Yes with Yesse as you come in. Mr. John Collins, I think I saw you there as you come in. Please take a moment and share the broadcast. Let others know that we are on. Let others know that we are on. Facebook takes a little bit to circulate and YouTube and all that good stuff. So let our family and friends know that we are on, and we're just going to hang out for a little bit with a little topic and just real talk of what's on the heart, right? And then we will go from there. So good evening, buenas noches, buenas tardes, buenos días, de donde sea que nos estén escuchando. That means good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are listening from on New Season Gospel FM, your number one gospel station around the globe. Thank you so much for joining. And so this month of May, it's May, guys. It's May. I'm not a numbers girl, but I think we're almost halfway through the year, right? Almost halfway through the year. And it's been an eventful year for sure. Definitely an eventful year and so much more to go and look forward to. We're almost there. So always remember the time is now. The time to do what you want to do and what God has called you to do is now. It's today, because yesterday is gone. Tomorrow we don't know. So today is the day. Today is the day. And my hope and my prayer is that we never take a day for granted, that we never take a moment for granted, that we enjoy every moment of every day, no matter what, because that's what we are supposed to do. And so I know I try my very best to do so. And I don't remember who I said this to just the other day in conversation, but I'm grateful that I get to do what I do. I always say it, but I said it very recently. I said, I'm grateful that I get to do what I do every day. I'm grateful that I get to work with the population that I get to work with. I'm grateful that I get to come here with you guys and come to church and all that. I'm just grateful that I can overall do the things that I love to do in my life. So I pray that that you do too. So we're gonna like I said, talk a little bit of everything. I'm going to talk to you guys about, what May represents in the world of disability, what it all means. And again, just share with you a little bit of what's on my heart for the people. And of course, it's a reflection of self-talk, right? As we share topics and we talk with one another, and I'm here talking to you guys, it's always a little for you, but it's for me as well, to keep motivated, to keep inspired, and to keep motivating and inspiring others to continue along this thing called life. So I'm just going to play just one song to get us started, give you a moment to share the broadcast, let others know that we are here on Yes with Yesse, on with you on Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which reminds me, I got to give you some amazing news as what's happening later tonight. Hopefully you guys can tune in. Anyways, I'm going to play this really quick, and then I will be right back to talk to you guys about a little something and tell you what is happening tonight. ¿Qué está pasando? So share the broadcast, let others know that we are here and getting ready to start on Sí con Yesse. Yes with Yesse. Here we go.
Tu amor nunca me falla, mi existir en tus manos está. Desde el momento que despierto hasta el anochecer, yo cantaré de la bondad de Dios. Y en mi vida ha sido bueno. Y en mi Señor. Todo lo que soy le entrego hoy. A ti me rendiré con mi ser, con todo mi aliento. Yo te adoraré. Todo lo que soy le entrego hoy. A ti me rendiré. En mi vida tú has sido tan bueno. En mi vida tú has sido tan fiel. Aleluya. En mi vida has sido bueno. En mi vida has sido tan fiel. Con mi ser, con cada aliento, yo cantaré de la bondad de Dios.
Cantaré de la bondad de Dios. I will sing of the goodness of God. I love when I can recognize a song, you know, in Spanish and English. Music is universal, so I love it. I love it. So yes, like I will sing of the mercies of God. And speaking of, I want to start out the show just by saying a huge thank you to the community, to the world, but thank you to community. Thank you to my community. I always talk about it, community and how important it is, and if I talk about it so much, it's because it is that important to me. So thank you to everyone that supported my recent event that just took place last Saturday, the Future Floristic Inclusion Experience. Thank you for those of you that called, prayed for us, showed up, bought a ticket, whatever you did. Thank you so much. It was amazing. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit more as the show goes on, because I want to just mention things that were important that happened to me post event, feelings and all that good stuff, and why it's all of that is important. And where I stand now versus where I stood from an emotional perspective right after the event. But overall, it was amazing. It was beautiful. The kids, of course, enjoyed it. Amazing feedback, comments, ways to improve, of course. Always room for improvement. Overall, just really awesome. So thank you for supporting my crazy and the things that I love to do no matter what. So I appreciate that. And speaking of just in that realm of disabilities and inclusion and diversity in our community, we are in the month of May. We're May 9th, May 9th. And May has become a significant month for me, for my family. And so we have, of course, I think it's 3 months of my grandmother's passing. So that's been tricky, which, by the way, it was, I didn't realize it at that particular moment, but my event took place on my grandmother's 3rd month anniversary, the exact same day. So it was tricky. It was very tricky day, but overall it was a good day. So, such is life, right? Such is life. When life throws you lemons, you make lemonade. You make lemonade. So, May is a big month. And so, May also signifies Children's Mental Health Awareness. Children's Mental Health Awareness Month. I think it's Mental Health Awareness Month for the month of May, period. But specifically today, it is Children's Mental Health Awareness Day. And it's the importance of, obviously, children's mental health, right? Everyone's mental health, every single human's mental health is important. But today we talk specifically about children's mental health. And I think what I want to say, again, relates to everyone across the board, whether it's mental health, whether it's, whatever it is, it's very important. It's a very important topic to highlight, whether it's mental health day or month or not, every single day, because it's something that we as humans live with some kind of mental health in some kind of capacity every single day, whether we show it or not, whether we talk about it or not. Hence why these awareness days exist. As I have mentioned before, I'm not a fan, but unfortunately in situations like this, there has to be awareness days because we're still not where we need to be as it pertains to getting help, being comfortable enough to get help, being supportive of each other enough to make it okay to not be okay, right? Like it's okay not to be okay. Well, as a society, we have to work together still to make sure that we are comfortable with not being okay, talking about it, asking for help, seeking counseling, and so much and so forth, versus, hey, it is what it is. Let's push it down, under the rug and nothing happens. And then we have consequences, no action is an action. It is something. And so unfortunately we get unwanted results and consequences when we don't do anything about it. Hi kiddos. I see one of my children's Andres, which you guys saw on the show. What was that? 2 weeks ago, perhaps. So hi, how are you? It's been so long. Sister Annie, thank you for joining. And so we're talking mental health, and specifically how it's a Children's Mental Health Awareness Day and Mental Health Awareness Month. And so, I think it's, and I speak for so many, it's time that we label, if you will, because we label everything, right? Label jars, not people, but we always have that tendency to label. But I think it's a matter of putting a positive perspective by now, like not so much of a negative perspective on mental health specifically, right? So putting a positive light, a positive staple on mental health. And I think that is so essential, especially for our kids, our children, to develop healthy lifestyles, to develop healthy ways of communicating, healthy ways of saying, you know what, I'm not okay today, right? And it's okay, and talking about it. So I think creating a safe space for everyone across the board, but specifically for our kids and for our youth, is so, so important. And I think that just to give you an example, here at church, or hopefully, just churches across the community, it is our responsibility to create that safe space for our kids, our youth, our people as a whole, to be able to talk about whatever it is that is on their minds, whatever feelings they are, they're working through, dealing with, if you will, situations and all that. It is important that we as a community work together to be able to give people that safe space to talk about it, but also like, hey, if I can't handle this right now, if I can't handle this topic, this conversation, or I can't help you, here's a phone number, here's a resource, here's something or someone that you can go to that perhaps can help you. So no, we don't have to be the sole solution to any problem. We're not. But we can definitely work to provide resources and information and a word of advice and an ear to listen to anyone, especially, I don't want to say especially because it's for everyone, but in this case for children and our youth. We have a responsibility to them, but to the people as well, to listen and to offer that advice. And I think that's what we're here for, right? That is what we're here for. I think that's what we're here for when it comes to, a youth service, when it comes to our oh my goodness, our event that we just had on Saturday. I'll tell you a story a little bit later, but that's what we're here for. It's not just, to look pretty and have an event and, okay, we did this, okay, bye. No, we developed a community. Like if I tell you guys testimonies that happened during this time of putting this show together and the day of the show with our kids and our youth and what they're going through and their mental health and how we're able to just be there for them and create this safe space where they can be genuinely themselves. It's pretty amazing. And that is what we are lacking so much of, that we have so much things going on in our community, in our world, within our home, within our family dynamic, where our kids, our youth, our young adults are dealing with, the pressures of society, school, high school or middle school or even elementary school, or they're dealing with the family dynamic of single mom, single family home, or divorce or separation or adoption, even foster care, homelessness. Like there are so many things that our youth deal with that we have no idea about. It's crazy. It's a lot, and it's overwhelming just being able to just be in this world and be around them so much and just learn their stories is tough out there for them. So if we as a people, a community, a church, family, friends, etc., can do what we can to be there for them, it would go a long way. Like literally be there for them. Like literally pick up the phone and call them. Literally go visit them. Literally, they're in a depressive state. That they're going through something. They're probably not eating. Send them an Uber Eats. Send them groceries. I saw that. I saw that actually in I think it must have been a Facebook post where they were talking about that. And this was a while ago. Send them a grocery, delivery, something to let them know that you care and that you're there. And more than anything, I think is something that we are lacking as a people, as individuals, as a society, as a family, is quit judging. Quit judging. It is that simple. Quit judging. And again, I speak to you, but it's like I speak to you and it comes to me, right? Because it's not just for you, but it's for me as well. It's a matter of us. We quit judging. We quit judging. If we say that we're there for people and we're going to help, let's be there. Let's help them. Let's quit judging. Let's listen. Let's learn to listen. Let's learn to hear, to listen, not to respond, so that people know that we are truly and genuinely there because we care, not because we just want to be heard or our opinions to be known, because that's not what it should be about at all. It's not what it's about. It's not what it's about. Let's learn to hear, to listen. Let's listen to understand, right? Listen to understand, not to respond. Listen to understand and not to respond. Because when we listen, we will learn a lot. We'll learn a lot about why, these behavior exists, why these specific mindsets or mental health crises exist. And there's a why for everything, right? There's a why for everything. So it's very important that we make it a point to listen. Listen. I don't know where I got it from, but one day I heard, listen, Linda, listen. So I stuck with that. But it's time that we listen, and we will not listen and we will not decrease on these mental health crises until we put our own situations or differences aside to really be available to listen. Unconditionally love, like we say, unconditional love, unconditionally loving and listening to each other, unconditionally loving and understanding and processing things that happen in each other's lives. There's a why for everything that happens. But do we take the time? Do we take the time to figure out the why behind every, action or whatnot? No, we don't. And that's, a lot of people will say, well, I don't have time for that. Well, I don't think anybody does, but that's the only way that we will truly understand, why things happen. So taking time to listen is definitely one. Taking time to listen, taking time to process, to understand, to think about it before we respond or have a conversation. Not judging people, not judging our kids, our youth, because, oh, you're young. What do you know? You don't have any problems. Well, the size of their problems might not be the size of your problems as an adult, but they are their problems and their worries according to what it is that they have lived through or continue to live through or see every day. You don't know. So before we judge and we say whatever we say, I think it's important. I know it's important that we take the time to listen, to understand, not to respond, but listen to understand, and really learn the background story before we're like, oh, right. So that we can understand and have that aha moment. Like, oh, okay, this is why this happens. Right. I know it's just something that I do with the students that I work with, no matter who they are. Like I am in a unique position to be able to work with individuals with disabilities, having a disability, having lived through a lot of the struggles that they have. And they actually, some of them are that much older than me that lived through hardships and situations that I won't maybe have to go through someday. So it's neat that they get to learn from me. I get to learn from them, and they can see a sense of or feel rather a sense of representation as it pertains to living with a disability. I was telling somebody earlier, it's like, they don't respect me. These kids don't respect me. They think I'm one of them. They don't see me as a teacher or a authority figure. To them, I'm one of them. Right. And so it's fun and it's awesome, but it's also hard to get them to respect and to know that, hey, when I ask you to do something or whatever the case, you have to listen. And sometimes they're like, why? Right. So it's important. It's important for them to know that representation matters, or for me to know that representation matters and that what I do matters, and I'm there because I'm also there to mentor them and let them know that it's okay. It's okay to be different. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay to ask for help. Like, all these things are things that I go through and experience and work at every single day of my life, on both ends. So to them, what is she saying, Sister Mina? Yes, to them, you're just yay. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, pretty much. They call me Miss Jessie, but that's about it. That's as far as it goes. That's as far as it goes. So yeah, all that to say, representation matters. Representation matters. The people in your life, the people in these children's lives, in these young adults' lives matter, right? And so it could be anything, though. When we talk about the battles of mental health on this Mental Health Awareness Day for kids, it's like, what makes it hard, right? What makes it hard? Or I should say, why do these children, why do they deal with these things? Listen, I have cases in my caseload of I can think of one young girl, super young girl, dealing with a line of mental health situations, chemical imbalances, all these things that we have to understand that, it is a medical thing. It is a medical disability. It is it's not anything external. It's not anything anybody did. It's not none of that. It's medical. And so because it's medical, it's okay to ask for medical professional advice and get medical professional help, right? And in addition to that, I also 120 million% believe that it's also something where spiritually we can improve in our mental health with our spirituality, with our belief in God, with integrating ourselves in church and activities. Absolutely. Because I always say, you don't want, nor do you have to do life alone. Yes, it's medical. Yes, it's a disability. Yes, you have to go to the doctor and get medicine that works for you and all these things, and also feel yourself spiritually. I know I talk about it all the time. When I wasn't going to church and I wasn't going anywhere, I was like, oh my God, like I was not in a good place. I was not in a good place mentally and emotionally. And it's all connected. To me, it's all connected mentally, emotionally, physically, because when one thing's not right or it's not okay, none of it is okay. Nada, zero. And I talk about it. I was in that place where I was not okay. And it wasn't until I got out of my head, literally, I got out of my head and I was like, you know what? I can't do this. And then I was integrated and I was included, as I advocate for inclusion, into church and ministry and feeling that sense of community again, and people believing in me and, hey, you can do this. Hey, and providing opportunity and mentorship and stuff like that. That's what got me out of that hole. Right? But people took the time to get to know me enough to know that that's what I needed to get out of that emotional state. Right? And so what are we doing when we talk about children's mental health, our young adults, our people with mental health, signs of mental health difficulties? What are we doing to help them? Yes, prayer changes things. Yes, prayer works. In addition to that, there's a whole packet. What else are we doing to help the people? How are we helping them get out of their own head? How are we, because that happens, we get in our own head. That's not a place we want to be in. But what are we doing to get people out of their own, out of themselves, out of their situation, out of whatever it is that is hurting them, and not letting them be their best self. So we talk about, the children's mental health, children, adults, youth, all of it. It doesn't matter what age it could hit you. It could happen to you, I should say. It could happen to you. And sometimes we don't even know that we're going through it, because I can tell you, I went years, guys. I personally went years where I knew I wasn't okay. Some people that knew me well enough knew that I wasn't okay, but I didn't know why. I didn't know at the time. I didn't know why. I thought I didn't know why. Why am I not, my room was a mess, for example. Like, why am I not organized? Why am I not neat? Why is my car a mess, or whatever it is, right? And so these were all signs that I was not okay mentally and emotionally. And all some people could do was, oh, she needs a doctor. Oh, she's, her car's dirty. But nobody really took time to ask me what was happening. My mom did. My mom knew something was up, but I wouldn't talk to her about it. Nor did she know how to help me. And that happens too, and that's okay. It's just kind of figuring out what would help, what would work, and who that person, in this case me, would be willing to open up to and talk to and get the help from. That's very important. And so for me, it was community, it was church, it was getting out of COVID and back into life, back into my activities, back into community, because community has always been a big deal for me. And so that's everything that helped me to get out of that situation, if you will, that I was in. And so I say all that to say that I would encourage all of you, anybody that sees somebody going through something emotionally, they're depressed, or they have some kind of mental health, community, people, respecting their boundaries. Boundaries is a huge thing, respecting their boundaries. All of that really helps. And again, community, right? So we talk about, why is it so different across the board? Because there's cultural beliefs. There's different cultural beliefs. Some people don't believe in depression. Oh, you're not depressed. You just need something to do. You're just bored. Or, so we kind of use our cultural beliefs and differences to hide certain things, to hide situations and feelings that we're feeling because of the shame and all these things. I will never forget when I had a meeting with a dad who knows his son is not okay, but he told his son, I want to fix you, boy. I'm going to fix you. Excuse me, sir, you're not going to fix anybody. Only God can do that. So we have to get away from that. I'm going to fix you, or, kind of mindset. And what can you do to help? What resources, what information, who do you know that can help? Who do you know that can provide that information and that assistance to help your son, your daughter, yourself to, again, get out of that? Maybe it's, all the professionals. Maybe it's myself. Maybe it's, again, going to church, your ministry, your youth pastor, your pastor, your brothers and sisters in Christ. It could be any one person that can help that individual get out of that state of depression, or, whatever it is that they're going through at the moment. Going back a little bit to the event that we just had on Saturday, there was a young lady there, who wasn't going to go to the show, by the way. Her mom told me, I invited my daughter, but she doesn't want to go, etc. Days later, if not the day of the show or the day before, she's like, she's going to come with me because she saw you guys on the flyer, and she knows the co-producer of this event, Jairus, and as a matter of fact, he was her teacher or principal even of her school, and she wants to go. When I saw this young lady, and she was just crying, like all she could do was cry. It was like, oh my gosh, the impact that this person has made in her life as her teacher and principal in her school, what she's going through in her life. It was a moment of healing for her. Like she just, she was so at peace. She was so happy. She was dancing. She was just like a whole nother person that day, and like that story where people find, a sense of belonging, a happy place. I like to call it, like, this is my happy place, a sense of belonging in this event. And it's pretty awesome. Because they find the sense of belonging. They find the sense of, like, I can be myself 120% and no one's going to judge me. And that's what we have to work as a society to do for everybody, creating that safe space where I'm not going to judge you, you don't judge me, and everybody's cool and we can be authentically ourselves and we're good. Like, how amazing would that be? How amazing would that be? Myself included, because God's still working in me, myself included. But how amazing would that be that we no longer judge one another? And I think when we get to that place where we no longer judge one another, when we no longer suppress our feelings and hide things from one another, and just admit to our faults, admit to our difficulties, and just learn to, authentically say I'm sorry, apologize. I remember just a couple weeks ago, and again, I speak from personal stories and experiences to just use myself as an example. There was a sister that I wasn't 110 okay, getting along with at that moment, if you will, and I knew that I was in the wrong. Excuse me. At that point, I knew that I was in the wrong, and I went up to her and I apologized to her and I gave her a hug, and we're good. Is it perfect? Is it always going to be perfect with people? No, but I'm good. We're good. And I think that we have to get to that place. It takes a lot, and it's not easy, where we are the bigger person to apologize, to say the whole truth and nothing but the truth, for the people, the other person, for ourselves. Because at the end of the day, we're the ones that are affected too. I didn't want to live with that particular situation any longer. It's not a good thing, to live in that heaviness. So learning to forgive, and learning not to suppress our feelings, not to just bury our feelings and let it bury, because then where's it going to go? It's not going to go anywhere. So that's where we suppress, and then we get these senses of depression and sadness and crying and anger. I get mad. I get mad. I only cry like with certain people, but I get mad, and I express it where I shouldn't, and to the people that I shouldn't express it to. So I knew that if I kept it in me any longer, it wasn't going to be pretty. So I apologized. We're good. Good. All right, let's go. Keep it moving. You have to be the bigger person sometimes, all the time, to apologize, and just know that when you're in the wrong, apologize, and everything is going to be okay. It doesn't matter what it is, who it is, or what it's about, who it is, who it's to. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. And we are brothers and sisters in Christ, and we're not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here. And so that's wherever you are, no matter the situation, no matter the environment that you're at. So yeah, it's life. It's this thing called life, right? It is this thing called life. So, I know that was random. Random's my middle name, but it was just what's in my heart. And as we talk about all of that, I think about support. And I think about how important support is for people, for one another, and for me, again, community support, all that stuff, right? I was upset. Post-event, I was upset. Oh my God. Because we didn't have this huge number of people to the event. It was a low number. I didn't see a lot of familiar faces. And I was upset for like a day. And I realized, I can't say I realized, but I had people around me that helped me realize that it wasn't about the number of people that went out. It was about the impact. And then when I started looking at the pictures and videos of the event and comments and messages that were coming in, and I got over it real quick. I got over that real quick to say, you know what? It was a great event. It was a great event. It was an impactful event. The people had fun. The models had fun. They were all smiles, and their self-esteem was blooming, and they did amazing. They worked hard for the couple weeks leading up to the event, where with rehearsals and all those things, and getting their resources together. They had a great time. They had a great process. They showed up, and they made it to the finish line, right? It's not how we start, it's how we finish. Perfect example. It's not how we start, it's how we finish. And so overall, it was a great show. It was beautiful. That's why I'm so appreciative of those that supported the show, from our videographers to photographers to the designers to all of them. just to make it an overall amazing experience for our kids. And again, I say that because I learned that the important thing is who shows up, right? It's like somebody said to me, it's not about the people that were not there, it's about who was there and who showed up and who supported. And of course, who supported from afar, whether it was buying a ticket or whatnot, because they knew they weren't going to be able to be there. Though that counts just the same of a support because you supported, right? But specifically when we talk about the community of individuals with disabilities, parents of individuals with disabilities, service providers, nonprofits, other organizations or companies, whoever it is that provide services for people with disabilities and that represent people with disabilities, we need to do better. We need to do better because we are, and I've talked about it before, probably, we are very, what we call siloed, where it's a meaning of separated or basically segregated the way I see it. Excuse me. And we were talking about it earlier, where it's like, oh my gosh, it's there's no other word I think than segregated, because it's separated, right? So it's to say the service people for physical disabilities, the service providers for spina bifida, for cerebral palsy, for mental health, like they're all over the map, but none of them come together to support. And if there's anybody in the community that has been to, resource fairs and community events and supports other events and, other nonprofits and other fundraisers and all that, if anybody in this world does that, it's me. I do. I love to do it. It's not because I feel like I have to. It's not because anybody is making me, but I genuinely like to support. It's just a thing. And so these entities have seen me before. They know who I am. I send emails. I call, because, it might look like, we don't do much, or I don't do much on the other side, but I call, I send emails, I show up, I go to events, I go, I'm a vendor at different events with flyers at hand, both of us for this event. And so we're out there. But unless the entity, the organization, the people meet me halfway and realize that what we do matters, what I do matters, we need the support. I can't grow without support from the people. I can't grow to provide services to people with disabilities without support. Unless parents come up, unless parents learn to stand up for their child and what they believe and what they need more than anything, what are we doing? What are we doing? Yeah, it's very important, guys. If you're a mom out there, a mom, a dad, a caregiver, if you're listening and you know them, it is important to support causes as such, because they are there to help you. They are there to help you. They're there to help your child. Okay. Those of you that missed out on events, there was resources, there was information, there was collaborations of organizations that your kids could benefit from, organizations that I wasn't even aware of, to be honest with you. Right. But unless you open that horizon to attend, to go, to speak up, to make that call, to send that information, that email, whatever it is, like, the support is needed. And if you don't support, we can't help you. If you don't show up, forget, supporting because you bought a ticket or whatever. No. Showing up matters. Showing up matters, whether it's an organization, a nonprofit, co-workers, friends, whatever it is important to show up. It is important to show up because we do these things with love. We do these things with love, and we do these things. I know I do. I know, I love to do it. I might not be able to walk the next day for a couple days, but I love to do it. But the support is necessary, because I'm doing it for the people, for our community, for our kids, more than anything in the world, than 110%, not for myself, right? Not for myself. In a way, yes, for myself, because I love to do it and it helps me and it keeps me busy and I love being with the kids and doing the work that I do. But I do it more than anything in this world for the kids, for the youth, to fill in that gap, for the people that need the services, that need the support. I remember one lady that I met, I spoke to her on the phone that week once, and she came with her son. And she's like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. It's amazing. Like, I want to connect with you. My son needs services. That's what it's all about. That one lady that had never met me in my life, that knows nothing about me, zero, zip, but her son needs help. And she made it a point to go and to meet me and what we were doing and all that good stuff. Support matters, guys. Support matters. Support matters. So one of the things that I would definitely say was, hard or a tough pill to swallow, if you will, was the lack of support. But from the community and service providers and all that good stuff. I mean, there's hundreds of waiver support coordinators that service people with developmental disabilities. One came, and it's for the people that they serve. It's for the people that they serve. And that's been a problem across the board every year, and not just now, is getting the people to come out. Unless it's free. If it's free, then everybody comes out. But not everything is for free. Sorry, wrong number, call again. And as people with disabilities, we have to get away from that mindset that we need everything for free. Because if you have money for other things, then you have money to, to support an event or a charity or something like that, a fundraiser, right? Because it's for you. So it's you're investing in you. You're investing in something social, your mental health. You're investing in resources and activities and things like that. It's an investment. It's an investment. And so and that's exactly it. Until we see this thing, disability, right? Oh my gosh, it's a disability. How scary. No, it's not. But again, it's the perspective that we have on this thing called disability, where we think, oh, because I've heard it. I've heard it time and time again. Oh, but this is what I'm going to see. And I can't do that. And I can't take that emotionally, and all these different excuses. Disability now is not what it used to be. So the support it's important, for you to come out so that you see what disability is today versus your perspective on what disability used to be, or your perspective on, what disability represents or whatever. I remember, back in the day when I had somebody say to me, let me pray for you because you have a disability and disability is sin. No, like I thank God every day that now I know, excuse me, I know better that disability is not sin. I'm wonderfully created in the image of God because God created me with a purpose. And if I would not be different, and if I would not have this disability, I would not have the purpose that I have for my life. And that is for me, and that's for every person behind me or in front of me that I represent as a person with a disability, doing these activities, doing these events. It could be tomorrow is me, tomorrow it could be you. So why not go ahead and just embrace it, learn, get the resources, the information, our mental health, the rate of those, living with mental health diagnosis or even undiagnosed goes up every second of the day. The number just gets higher and higher. That's why these awareness events exist. Because that way you can help yourself and you can help the next person. So again, representation matters and showing up matters. Even if you think it doesn't pertain to you, it doesn't matter, whatever, it is important. And that is for events. That's for church activities. That's for family, gatherings, getting support from family members. It's across the board. We are lacking that so much. And it's for, again, anything. I'm speaking about the lack of representation of people with disabilities and service providers and all that for our event that I just had and previous events as well. And also to across the board when it comes to the lack of representation and the lack of support when it comes to church events, to community events, whatever it is. The problem is across the board. Representation matters, support matters. So if you can't find it within yourself to support and to have that unconditional support and will and want to support your own, then who's going to support you? What is your expectation of who's going to support you? Because I don't support and show up and all of that for people to support and do it for me. It's nice when they do, and I absolutely love it. But I do it because I genuinely love to support and be there and and show up because I know how important it is. Right? When you can't, you can't. When you have to work, you have to work. When you can't, you can't. But when you can, it's important to show up. When you can, it's important to show up. So again, it was amazing. I grew through it. It's going to be, it's going to be amazing moving forward as well. I love every single aspect of what I get to do, and the kids, and they had an amazing time, and the comments have been amazing. The support, guys, support each other. Support each other. Support what you believe in. Support what supports you, or who supports you. Support who supports you. Leaving your beliefs and disbeliefs and, differences or whatever you want to call it aside. Support one another. We're all going through it. We're all going through hard times. We're all going through struggles. We're all going through this thing called life. And so if we can't support each other and love each other and be a community together, what are we doing? What are we doing? Right? So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Let's support each other. Other organizations, providers of disability-related stuff, support each other, because those other entities are the ones that support your members and your students and your clients. It's all a big circle. It's all a big circle. Support each other. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for my community. I'm grateful for everyone around me. I'm grateful for your prayers, your support. Again, those of you that bought tickets and supported and called and prayed and all of it, not just now, but over the past couple years of this thing called life. Thank you, thank you, thank you, because it means a lot to me, and it sure means a lot to those that I serve, to be able to do what I do for them and for myself, and to know that, we do have support. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Of course, always to New Season Gospel FM. I always say New Season and New Season Gospel FM are my life sponsor and the people, my life sponsor. It's pretty awesome to have. So I'm grateful for it. Of course, our leaders and Bishop, Sister Mina, Pastor Henry, all you guys, thank you so much for supporting, promoting for me, pushing for me, and just elevating me to do the best that I can with the life and the experiences that God has thrown my way. So I truly appreciate it. Support each other, guys. A little support goes a long way. You just never know what it can do for one person. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. That's my story, and I am sticking to it. It is almost time to say see you later. See you later. And speaking of see you later, we'll see how it goes. But as we continue this month of May, we'll continue talking about topic of mental health and sharing stories of, what people go through and what they have done to get to the other side, and what God has done in their life to help them overcome obstacles and this, just really live this thing called life, right? And go from glory to glory in what God has for them. So I look forward to more of those stories. And if you have a story that you want to share, and you want to share your story of triumph and overcoming hard times and all that good stuff, Yes with Yesse. Yes with Yesse. That's YESWITH. Yesse, YESSE @gmail.com. Yes with Yesse @gmail.com. And I'd love to talk to you about it, because you matter, I matter, our story matters, and why not have it to where the world can see it and hear it, because you never know who you can impact, motivate, and inspire to live another day, right? And so that is what it is all about. Thank you everyone for joining Yes with Yesse. And do me a favor, share the broadcast. I have a tendency to share a lot, and Facebook sometimes blocks me. So if you're a part of any groups, disability related groups, parents, etc., let them know that we are here on Yes with Yesse, what we're all about, and encourage them to listen in, because again, you never know what one word of encouragement can do for just one person. That's all it takes. One person is all it takes. So again, thank you so much for joining. If you are in the area, come and visit us. This is Mother's Day weekend. Oh my goodness, Mother's Day weekend on Sunday. Join us at 11 a.m. here at New Season Worship Center, 4660 North University Drive, Lauderhill, Florida, 33351. Mother's Day. Come out and celebrate Sunday. And of course, stay on board with all our programmings for the rest of the week. See you tomorrow morning for In His Presence with Pastor Henry. And then, of course, Fun Friday at 8 a.m. Fun Friday alongside Pastor Henry and Pastor Steve. Don't miss it. And then, of course, a little bit later in the day, noontime prayer with Minister Yesse. Noon prayer with Minister Yesse. Prayer on Saturday. And then we'll see you here on Sunday for our Sunday service as we celebrate our mothers, el Día de las Madres, aquí el domingo a las 11 de la mañana. No se lo pierda. So, again, thank you so much for joining. Share the broadcast. Let others know that we are here. And I want to see a victory. So I'm going to play this last song for you guys. I want to see a victory. I know that you want to see a victory, and we shall see a victory as we continue on this path of life. So until next time, I look forward to seeing you next week on another episode of Yes with Yesse, Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And tonight, I almost forgot, tonight, 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you have Island TV, please join me as I will be on with host Stitches, one of my favorite TV radio hosts ever. Sharing my story, living with a disability, as well as sharing a little bit about the event that you'll be able to be witness of. So tonight, Island TV, along with me, Yesse, Yes with Yesse. Don't miss it, guys. You can stream it live on islandtv.com and, of course, across all social media platforms. And I will be sure to share it as well. I hope I remember. So until next time, guys, have an amazing rest of your Thursday and then into the weekend for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I will see you guys willing on Sunday. So don't miss it right here, New Season Worship Center at 11 a.m. Until next time, see you then.
Falls, it won't prevail. take what the enemy meant for evil and you turn it for good. See, you turn it for good. You take what the enemy meant and you turn it for good. You turn it for good. You take what the enemy meant for evil. Turn it around, turn it around.